Michael, how's training gone over the international break?
Yeah, it's been good. We've enjoyed the break. I think when it comes along, because it comes at a good time really, because you work very hard in pre-season and then you come into the season, and I think that the timing of it is quite good. We obviously had pretty much a little bit of a down week in the first week where we trained a couple of days and played the game against Manchester United, and then gave the players 2 days in the weekend off, and then we've been in since Monday, obviously in terms of preparation for the game on Saturday. So it's been a good week. Training's gone well. We've had the international boys have all come back unscathed, which is good, and we look forward to the game tomorrow.
One more thing about the international break. You talked about the friendly against Manchester United and a very special fourth goal. Of course, none of the fans can see it. Could you just tell us, in your opinion, why it was so special?
Well, the key was, the build-up. We played from. It wasn't that dissimilar to the goal we scored against Reading, or the goal against Nottingham Forest as well, in terms of, we had good possession of the ball. We're under a lot of pressure from Manchester United, and we were able to play out through that pressure. And it's a great piece of play initially by young D'Amico Dehaney, who then is involved in the build-up later on to square the ball for Sam Surridge to score. But I think it was the quality and the speed of our play, and seeing us execute a goal like that at Old Trafford, against the level of opposition that we were playing against as well. It was that's why I think we enjoyed it as much as anything. The shame was there was no one there to see it other than ourselves. But yeah, it was a very good goal, and a lot of things that we've worked on in terms of structure, team, how we want to play, how we want to build the game in the back. What our options are when you receive the ball, and when you see that, then you start to believe that the players fully understand that they believe in what you're doing as well.
Does the preparations for the game against Huddersfield, do they get hampered by players getting back after international matches? Because Suter was obviously in Vietnam, and has Seaman even met his teammates yet?
Yeah, they are hampered a little bit, but we are pretty consistent in how we approach games. So like having a Thursday, Friday is generally, like a lot of times in the Championship, you can't really look beyond the next game, which means like even now, for example, we'll have a 3-day lead into Barnsley, but often in the Championship you've got Sunday, Monday before you play Tuesday again. So we're pretty well versed in that. We're consistent in how we approach it, and the main thing is that the players come back unscathed if they have. As regards Sima, no, he's not here yet. He obviously has to go through a visa process, which I think our understanding is that his intended arrival in the UK is on Monday evening, because obviously between Brighton and whatever is necessary from an administration point of view, I think he's had to be in Paris for visa meetings as well. So yeah, we expect to hopefully see him Monday evening, and we'll have him in here all being well on Tuesday.
The defeat against Fulham won't shape the season, but it's really important to try and bounce back against Huddersfield, who've had a great start really, and they're unbeaten away.
Yeah, they have. They've had a good start. They had a difficult result against Fulham themselves at home, and they've reacted well to that. I think they've won their last 3 games, which is never easy to win 3 games in a row in this league. I think they've got a lot of good players. I think that they've worked hard on trying to play as well. So I expect an open kind of game, a game not too dissimilar to Swansea in many ways. And we look forward to the game. But for us, it's about, as you rightly say, being consistent in what we do. We work very, very hard on what we've done since pre-season. So you've got to accept setbacks along the way. You've got to accept results that won't go your way. And the most important thing, you believe in what you're doing, and we bring it forward into this game, and with a better result and obviously a stronger performance.
And Tommy Smith, of course, will be up against his old club, and he's had 3 assists in the first 5 games. You'll probably be hoping for a few more tomorrow.
Yeah, he's had a really good start to the season, Tommy. I think he enjoys playing in a wing back position. Has that a bit of security behind him with a back 3. It allows him to go and join in the game a bit more. As I've said many times, he's a good footballer, can deal with the ball, and we'll be happy if he adds to that number tomorrow.
You've got back-to-back home games and a set of fixtures following, which should show how much progress you've made. But I suspect you'll just be focusing on tomorrow.
Yeah, I think, particularly given that, we've had 2 weeks away from it, so your focus is all driven to the next game. And again, with the regularity of the games, it's about trying to make sure that we are consistent in what we do. And I think the players see that we shouldn't just react to results and suddenly decide that we'll change the system completely or do something because of a result that we were disappointed with. We've gone to a team that's obviously come out of the Premier League, and they were very good on the day. So yeah, I think the thing for me is that the players believe in what we're doing, and hopefully they show that again in terms of the performance tomorrow.
Well, you say everybody's come back from the internationals unscathed. Is there any update on Powell Davis with his COVID, and how's Tyrese Campbell doing?
Adam Davis is fine. Came through. I think he was asymptomatic, so it was good to have him back in. I think Tuesday or Wednesday he was back in, and Nick Powell has been still working with the medical team, but he's out in the grass now doing stuff. So that means obviously he's closer to joining in with ourselves. Tyrese is back in training every day, which is good. And the most positive thing about that is that there's not been a reaction that is difficult for him. He's not had a day where he's had a reaction, which means we've had to maybe step him back a little bit. So he's on that constant sort of upward curve. I think with each day, he gets a little bit more belief in himself, and a little bit more the mental side of coming back from a long-term injury. I think he handles that a little bit better. And then, it's about getting him on the pitch, and he'll play in the game on Monday night at Middlesbrough. Him and Tash and Oakley-Boo, they're both scheduled they're both coming back after longer-term injuries to play in that game for 45 minutes. And then it's just a case of building up his minutes until he's involved with ourselves again in terms of the match day.
And lastly from me, you've sold over 500 tickets for this football match tomorrow, this sort of festival of football. It'll be a great atmosphere. And as Gareth Owen says, it's really good that grassroots footballers get to see the professional game, because that's where everybody basically starts.
Of course. Yeah, it is. And it's, I think it's very important. You hope that kids get the opportunity to play their games and grassroots games on a Saturday and Sunday morning, but they can still go and watch their team on a Saturday afternoon. And so I think it's very, very important. I think we've been delighted with the support we've had in the opening 2 league games, two great attendances, and we want to keep putting on good performances and winning games so that that number grows, and obviously there's a positivity in the stadium, which I think we've experienced certainly since the crowd's coming back, and it's up to us to hold on to that and develop it and improve on it with our own level of consistency and performances as a team.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ange. George now, please.
How important is it, Michael, to use these games like you did against Manchester United and games coming up to get game time for players and get the game time into the legs when they're not, in the starting 11?
It's very important. I think players are asked to come in and play at times, and sometimes when they're, players have to come in and play possibly and not played for 3 or 4 weeks maybe, or sometimes even longer than that. And it's a mental as much as a physical thing, getting your head in the right place to play. So games like the game we had at Old Trafford were great experience for the players. With a lot of younger players there, like Adam Porter, Tom Sparrow coming into the game and playing. They're playing at Old Trafford. They're playing against Juan Mata and, Matic and people like that there, Cavani. So those are all great experience, particularly for the younger players as well. So we were delighted with that game and what it gave us, and it was a nice game to have in that week, which was a down week obviously, and set us up nicely for the preparation leading into this game.
I suppose it's important to do that because we don't have what we would consider to be reserve leagues now, Michael. I know you can use overage players in under 23 games, but it is important to get those. Have you got more planned?
Yeah, look, it is important because I don't think when you drop first team players down into the 23s, I'm not sure they're tested. And obviously you're limited to the number that you can play. So that makes it a little bit difficult. I think you're only allowed 3 overage players. So Yeah, look, the difficulty in arranging these games is always around the schedule. So if you look at our current schedule between now and the next international break, we won't be able to do it again until we get to the next break. So yeah, we're already looking at that, discussing who the opposition may be. I'm not sure that the club will give us the money to go and play Barcelona or Real Madrid, but we'll hopefully find a level of good opposition that we can play against in proximity, because I think the players do get a lot out of that. And we've played Premier League teams in pre-season. We go against a Premier League team, albeit a promoted one, in the next round of the Cup as well. So I think all those experiences are beneficial for all the players, but especially for the younger players.
And moving on to this weekend, of course, you faced Huddersfield side, who started the season well. You've already alluded to that, but they've dropped into the Championship after the flirtation in the Premier League and adapted reasonably well again, haven't they?
Yeah, I think they've probably gone through a bit of a process like ourselves, where they probably came down with quite an expensive squad. They invest it when they're in the Premier League, and then there's a period of, if you don't go straight back up, there's a period where you have to adapt, and they're quite similar to ourselves on that side of things. I think they're a team that do try to play. I think they play good football, good intensity about their play. So it'll be a tough game. The game here last year was extremely open, brilliant game last, and which we won. And then the game away from home, I think we were in a really strong position in that game, and then unfortunately, Reece Norrington-Davies got sent off just before half time, and we had to then basically park the bus a little bit, but we showed good resilience to come out with a point in that side of things. So, but as I say, we expect a tough game, but a game we're ready for and looking forward to. After
the disappointment of Fulham, it's important you build another run, because you're capable of doing that, aren't you?
Yeah, look, we lost a game away from home against a very good side, and that's the way we see it. I don't think at this stage of the season it's a defining moment. It maybe give us a little insight and say, right, okay, we've got a little bit to go here, which is no bad thing. I think it doesn't do us any harm to see where the bar is, and if Fulham are the bar, then we saw that firsthand in London. And the most important thing is that we get a good reaction tomorrow, and I've no doubt that we will.
Finally, from me, Michael, obviously the transfer window is firmly shut now. Is there any facts you might look at the loan market or free players that are still on the eye at the moment? There's a lot of free agents about.
Well, the free agent market is the only market that really exists us at this minute in time. So, but if you take with Sima coming in with the 3 goalkeepers, we have a squad of 26 players. I think that is enough to get us to the next transfer window. And look, you'll never say no to if something comes along, but I wouldn't envisage. I couldn't see us, really signing anyone between now and January, unless we were forced into that because of an injury situation, which meant that we needed a player in a specific position, and a free agent was there to fill that gap. But it's not something that we're actively looking at this minute in time.
Thanks, Michael. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks, George. Dave, anything from you, please, before we move on to Pete?
Michael.
Hi, Dave.
One of the major changes for Stoke, or one very noticeable thing about Stoke City this season, is the exciting set of players at the back in defence, particularly Ostigard, Ben Wilmot and Harry Sousa, who are not scared of playing the ball out from the back and not scared about getting forward, almost more than the strikers, it seems. It looks like they're after goals. You must be pleased about that.
Yeah, look, it's, when we recruited players and we were bringing players to the club, we did it with a system in mind that we felt would suit those players. So we recruited players that we felt could play in that system. When you play with 3 at the back, you need your centre backs to step into the game. Both Leo and Ben are very capable of that. Morgan Fox is very capable of that. Sometimes it's a little bit more difficult for people who've maybe played a little bit more in a back 4. But I think, we've worked very hard on all of our centre backs, Danny Batt, James Chester, Harry, as well, in terms of how we've played. And, I think to really progress as a team, and you need to be able to build a game from the back. And then obviously you need to, be in the opposition half and get control of the game in the opposition half. And that's something that we've worked extremely hard on. There'll be games where we aren't able to do it. There's no doubt you're not going to be able to do it 46 games. We had good control in the games at times at Fulham, but unfortunately, we turned the ball over in bad areas and they hurt us on the counter-attack. So those are all things that we have to learn as well, that, we manage to keep control and don't give, because you can equally give teams opportunities while you're, trying to build a game as well. So it's about continued perseverance at that time, not getting, disappointed if it's not working as we would like it to work, and making sure, obviously, that we're consistently trying to work and improve as a team to do it. And, the players have been very receptive to that.
You don't get alarmed, because sometimes when I see them piling forward, I get a bit alarmed. I think, where the hell do you think you're going? You don't get alarmed by that, do you?
No, look, they step into the game at the right moments. There's times in the game where you'll have to be possibly man for man at the back. That happens, whether it's 2v2 or whether it's one. But ideally, you always have cover on the opposite side. So, no, I think it's important that, you have to create overloads in the game. And in this system, to do that, you need your centre backs to step into the game. Otherwise, sometimes you can end up with 3 players at the back marking a single striker, which isn't what we want either. We want, our centre back stepping in and playing with our wing backs, playing with the advanced midfielders. We work extremely hard here on the structure of the team, and to the point I'm sure the players are bored listening to me talking about it, but it's incessant. I believe that, that's something which will only, if we continue to work on that and get that right, then, it'll only help us be a better team.